Are you ready to see a Young Turks host defend Donald Trump? Yes, you heard that right. Ana Kasparian of the Young Turks actually defended Donald Trump and had something positive to say about him, much to the non-amusement of Cenk Uygur. Guys, this is a fun one. I think you're gonna enjoy it. As some of you may know, Ana Kasparian of the Young Turks has seemingly said a little more common sense lately. And you know what? The far left is not liking it. Cenk Uygur being chief among those people. As far as recent examples go, Ana Kasparian at one point dared to suggest that men should not be participating in women's sports. I know, imagine our shock. Obviously, anyone who's conservative or, just a normal human being will say, well, duh, she's obviously right. But she got ripped up and down by the left. It was hilarious to see. And now she's doing something even more unthinkable, defending Donald Trump. Cenk does not like it, and you guys are gonna see that, and it's gonna be a fun video. And we're gonna get right into it. But first, everybody, please make sure you like our video, share it around, and yes, subscribe to the Resist the Mainstream YouTube channel. Why subscribe? So we can deliver you more leftist smackdowns, or in this case, leftist checkings by their own types. It's kind of funny. I got a kick out of it personally. As always, I'm your host, Darian. Let's get into the video.
The Republican National Committee has now put out its platform with Donald Trump, apparently personally writing portions of it. And what's interesting is how Trump's role ended up moderating certain contentious policy issues for the Republican Party, but I actually think it was a smart political move because the extremists in the Republican Party were actually pushing for loser policy ideas. And I think Trump, to his credit, realizes, oh, this is actually gonna hurt the chances of Republicans winning congressional races and potentially Donald Trump himself in the general election, although, Democrats decided to provide cover for Biden, who is now very likely going to lose to Trump if he stays in the race. Now, with that in mind, the document was apparently chopped down from 66 pages in 2016 to just 16 pages this year. And some are in fact complaining that it was developed behind closed doors and approved by delegates in just a few hours Monday morning. Now, some prominent rank and file evangelicals criticized the language for backpedaling on the GOP's longstanding promise to ban abortions nationally. But to be fair, Trump has said repeatedly on national television, publicly, that he's not gonna push for a national abortion ban, not because of his principles, but because he realizes it's a big loser for Republicans. That's the main reason why Republicans didn't have such a massive red wave during the midterms. And so he learned a lesson from that and is trying to moderate the Republicans' messaging on that. But evangelicals, especially evangelical leaders like Tony Perkins, not happy about this. And so Perkins, who's the president of the Family Research Council, says that the 2024 platform is a decent statement of campaign priorities, but not necessarily the enduring principles of a party. Unfortunately, the process was unbecoming of constitutional conservatives, which did not allow the document to be amended or improved.
Speaking of Trump and Biden, how about that great Joe Biden economy? We all know we love it. Skyrocketing inflation, skyrocketing gas prices. It's just dandy, isn't it? Obviously, I'm kidding, but there is something you can do to possibly protect against this. Invest in gold. Specifically with Goldco, who I've recently partnered with. Gold is a great hedge against inflation. Historically, it's gone up in value as the dollar has gone up. Furthermore, you can roll over IRAs, 401k, retirement accounts such as that, penalty and tax free. So if you're interested in learning more and getting a great hedge against inflation, please go to rtmgold.com. You can either click the link in our description or type it in your web browser. Once again, that's rtmgold.com. Give Goldco a visit today and you can get a free gold kit that will advise you. Yes, that's right, a free gold kit that will advise you on how to seek out precious metals. And you can learn more about it and why it might be a good investment for you. Once again, that's rtmgold.com.
So as I saw this platform, I thought there's a couple of things that are pretty dangerous in there, and I'll get to those in a minute. But overall, I thought, oh no.
The GOP is more left-wing and liberal than ever. And don't take my word for it, just go look at their platform. It's patently clear. And Cenk is still complaining about, oh, it's so dangerous and extreme. It's never gonna be enough for these people. And I think this very clearly makes the point that the more the GOP tries to moderate and do this Big Tent thing where they just become more liberal than Democrats of 10 years ago, it just doesn't work. People are gonna paint them as these extremist freaks anyways. So just saying.
We're so going to lose. Obviously because of Biden, we're already toast. But even if you were to get Biden out, we have some catching up to do. Why? Because that document is pretty populist.
It is.
And he keeps talking about the voters.
Yep.
I know for Democrats, are like, whoa, who are those?
Yeah, the people that Democrats like to disrespect on a regular basis.
Yeah, no, so don't get me wrong. I know Trump's a con man. Nobody's talked more about what a con man he is than I have. And I know that the scary parts of that he might actually do. The parts where he protects Social Security and Medicare, not necessarily so. But as you read the document from an analysis point of view, I thought this is going to be fairly effective. And he's taken out most of the crazy radical stuff and the stuff that isn't popular. You know why? Because he's a con man. And what a con man does is get you to believe in him. So he tells you what you want to hear. But in politics, that's what you're supposed to do. Now, what would be amazing is a politician who tells you what you want to hear and then delivers it. Oh my God, give us one in our lifetime, please, right? So Trump tells you what you want to hear and then doesn't deliver it, but at least he's savvy enough and his team is savvy enough to tell you the things you want to hear and to take out the ones you don't want, like abortion, right?
I'm gonna say something that you're gonna disagree with, but this is my view of Trump versus whoever the Democratic candidate typically is. Trump actually listens to his supporters. And I'm gonna give you a few examples from his first term. He was itching to go to war with Iran. You remember that? He was itching for it. But the America First MAGA crowd, they're kind of isolationists. They don't want more war. And so I remember seeing headlines and I remember seeing commentary from his supporters saying that they didn't want him to go to war with Iran, and he listened. There were other examples as well, but look, you're right that he does what it takes to win. And so if he thinks moderating the message on abortion might help him win, he's gonna do that. But at the end of the day, what's been clear to me is that he seems to have more respect for his constituents, for his base, than Democrats do. Okay, Democrats will look at the policies that Democratic voters want in favor, and they'll basically say, F off, you have to support us because the other guy is evil and dangerous. Whereas Trump actually listens to his voters, and that's the reason why he has an energized base. They're galvanized, they're super excited to vote for him. Even when Biden didn't have all these negative headlines following his disastrous debate performance, do you think Democratic voters were super jazzed to vote for him? Were they ever excited to vote for him?
Yeah, I mean, now I'm hearing people.
She's completely right. I used to always say before the 2020 election, and I think the same still applies now. There are people who love Trump and people who hate Trump. There are people who hate Biden, but there's no one who loves Biden. And say what you want, but that's gonna come to bite Biden bad, I think, potentially in 2024. Do a lot of people vote out of motivation against Trump because they hate him? Yeah, sure, they sure do. But I think that contingent of people is becoming less and less, especially as they see just how ridiculous Sleepy Joe has gotten and just absurd with his bumbling, his flubs, his terrible presidency and all that. So all that to say, the 2024 election could be a really bad time for Democrats.
About Biden voters, I'm like, which Biden voters? So like, because for all the blue MAGA that's Biden voters, if you just told them the new leader is Kamala Harris or the new leader is Josh Shapiro, they'd be like, well, I'm voting for Josh Shapiro. So Biden doesn't have any voters who care about him. All of his voters just say, I will vote for anything Democratic leadership puts up in front of me. So his personal voters are zero. Anyways, now look, to your point, Anna, there's a couple of things, right? So I understand, yeah, I remember the time that he didn't do the bombing, et cetera. But on the other hand, he would do crazy things all the time. And that's why we were all on edge. And he would lie to you and tell you he was a populist and then pass a giant tax cut for corporations. The most record-breaking gift to.
Notice how he can't even name a crazy thing. He just says, well, Trump does crazy things. Cenk is ODing on Trump derangement system. It's not even funny. I mean, even Anna, she's a far leftist and she's seeing some light that Cenk can't see. It's really quite remarkable.
Corporate rule that any president's ever done. So let's not forget that he's actually totally full of crap. So, but I separated out to reality and the policies and what's smart politics in terms of what's gonna help him get elected or not, right? So when you look at smart politics, I look at number 5 and number 6 on this list. And they say, stop outsourcing and turn the United States into a manufacturing superpower. Now, can he really do that? Not really. And the idea of doing the tariffs will lead to more inflation and is a bad idea. But
pause for a second though on the tariffs. Look, we didn't cover the story mostly because we didn't have time, but Biden continued with those tariffs. Not only did he continue, he engaged in even more protectionism when it comes to China. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
No, but Trump is proposing an order of magnitude difference in tariffs. And look, I'm not here to debate tariffs. What I'm saying about this one is that it will appeal to most Americans, right or wrong on policy grounds. A lot of people are gonna go, protect manufacturing, keep jobs at home. They're gonna like that, right? Now, actually, Biden could make a perfectly good case on that.
Cenk claims to be a populist and whines about how Trump is a fake populist, but then he starts ridiculing tariffs that are designed to keep American jobs at home rather than shipping them overseas. Seriously, what is this guy even talking about? He's totally incoherent. So blinded by his rage against Trump that he can't even see blue from red. No pun intended.
He could speak. Anyways, number 6, large tax cuts for workers and no tax on tips.
Sounds pretty good.
That sounds amazing. I don't believe he's gonna do that at all, okay? But it sounds good. So when he's offering things up for the voters and Biden isn't, it's gonna be a slaughter. Okay, now let me tell you the dangerous parts of this platform because it's important that you know the reality. Number 2, carry out the largest deportation operation in American history. I think he's gonna actually try it. He promised it 8 different ways, and when he does, it's going to be a holy mess. Then they'll stop because even Republicans were like, oh, I didn't mean my friend. I meant other randos, right? I didn't mean the workers at my factory. I meant other randos, right?
Yeah.
But they're gonna try it, and it's gonna be a giant mess. But I think the last 2 are more important, 18 and 19. That's why they're all the way down at 18 and 19. Deport pro-Hamas radicals and make our college campuses safe and patriotic again. So he doesn't mean Hamas. If it was Hamas, you don't deport them, you arrest them and put them in jail. No, he means anyone who disagrees with Israel is gonna get arrested and maybe deported.
Come on.
He's definitely saying it. He said it super clearly. He went to Republican Jewish leaders.
He says a lot of crazy things, Cenk.
So you're gonna trust Biden?
You think he's gonna arrest and deport pro-peace protesters?
Oh, he's definitely gonna. Biden arrested
deport them where? A lot of them are American citizens. Where's he gonna deport them, Cenk?
It doesn't matter. He's gonna play up to his base, and he's gonna say, "Hey, you know what? Under Biden, they arrested."
He's gonna deport American citizens. What an unhinged, ridiculous lie that is. But then notice right after, well, it doesn't matter where he's gonna deport them to. Bro, what? Do you even hear yourself? Guy's just a rambling fool. It's hilarious.
These guys too, which is true. And then he's gonna arrest them. Then he's gonna say, hey, you know what? That guy's from a Muslim country and that guy's, his grandparents were from a Muslim country. I'm gonna deport them there. So what? What are you gonna do about it? And everybody's gonna get all riled up and then his base is gonna be ecstatic. Oh, we got the Muslims, we got the Hamas guys, etc. No, he's got dictatorial tendencies. This is playing with fire there, like this guy. What do you mean deport American citizens? Okay, and by the way, if you're MAGA, why don't you ask, wait, hey, how far do we have to go back? Is it just Muslim countries or can he deport Irish people who supported Irish independence? Oh yeah, your parents were terrorists. I'm gonna deport you even though you're a citizen. I know, he'll do it only on racial lines. 19, secure.
Is he capable of making an argument that's not rooted in lies and mistruths? I wanna see a single quote of Trump, or like any Republican, frankly, saying we're gonna deport American citizens. Deport them to where exactly? What country are we gonna deport American citizens to? Last I checked, the only country that accepts illegal immigrants en masse is America. I haven't really seen it in many other places. Maybe Canada does it a little bit too, but America's the worst by far. It's not even close, so it begs the question. Which country is gonna take all these deported Americans? Because I don't think any of them are.
Elections, including same-day voting, voter identification, paper ballots, and proof of citizenship. It sounds to look good. Oh, we're protecting. No, that ends mail-in voting. That ends much larger participation in our democracy and means that the Republicans will have a massive advantage we will not be able to recover from as they funnel all of our money to their corporate donors. And by the way, why does he have 18th thing about the college campus anyway? Because Miriam Adelson is gonna give him $90 to $100 million, and she wants anyone who does not support Israel to be arrested. She wants Israel to annex the West Bank. Haaretz is reporting it in Israel. So, and by the way, last time, if you're MAGA, you should know this. If you're independents, you should know this. Trump told Sheldon Adelson, give me the $100 million for his campaign, and you want to move our embassy? I'll give you the ability to do US foreign policy. And Sheldon said, yes, here's the money, now do as you're told. And Trump did. He risked a giant war in the Middle East just to make sure his donor was happy. That's who Donald Trump is.
Is it just me, or is Cenk totally trying to filibuster the show right now? I think he didn't really like what Ana was saying and had an idea that, if we let this keep going, maybe our left-wing progressive audience isn't gonna like it. That's just my theory, but I think it's obvious. I mean, the dude's just going and talking, just saying nonsense. None of his refutations to Ana, or at least a sad attempt at one, are sticking. So he just keeps going and talking, probably because he's afraid about what's gonna happen if she keeps dropping truth bombs on the segment. Really hilarious to see and really enjoyable. And I have a feeling we're gonna see more, let's just say, intelligent and balanced and nuanced takes from Ana in the near future. And to that, I say good for her. It's refreshing, it's something new.
So this is a disaster, but it's going to be framed in a positive way, and it's taken out some of the positions that are very unpopular in the polling. It is politically savvy, and it is going to lead to not a good, we're already in such a disastrous situation. As long as Biden's the nominee, none of this matters because he has a 0% chance of winning. But get ready for Trump to be president, because we're completely headed in that direction.
Well, everyone, hope you enjoyed that. I know I did. If you want to see more content like this, please be sure to comment below. Let us know what you thought, what you want to see next, and we'll see you guys again very, very soon. Thanks, and God bless.